Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
It's literally a brand new motorcycle, Mike.
Wow.
You know, it's got 3,800 miles on it. And I put 3,500 roughly on it myself. You know, it had 231 miles on it when I got it.
So smooth.
The crossover pipe and the duals with the baffles and the packed mufflers, and yeah, I'm holding the throttle on just a little bit right now because it's cold. It's at about 1,400 RPM, but it idles down pretty good when it's
Oh,
yeah, that's 1,000.
oh, that is fantastic. I love that sound.
Yeah, it's a Triumph, you know. It's a jewel compared to the other ones. I've monkeyed around so much with the other two motorcycles. This one hardly done anything to it. Cleaned it, right it, changed the oil. Still has the original tires on it.
That is beautiful.
It has an interesting story. I was at work one day and I was looking at a friend's motorcycle. He had this old scruffy looking Harley Sportster chopper thing sitting out in the parking lot. And I was walking around looking at it, and Chuck was coming back from lunch and he looks at me. He was kind of a quiet guy, walked with a shuffle, older, and he said, "You like old motorcycles, Mike?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I love old motorcycles." And he goes, "You want to buy one?" I go, "Yeah, I want to buy one." And he just kind of turns around and shuffles off. I go, "Chuck," I chased him down and I said, Chuck, what did
Don't
I
leave
just
me
buy?"
hanging.
And he looked at me and he goes, "A 69 Triumph Tiger." And I said, "Yes." You know, so it was like real excited. When do I get to pick it up? And my dad and I went over with the van and we went to Chuck's house, and it was over in North Portland, and there was a little shack of a garage that looked like it was about ready to fall over, and you could see through the walls. It was one of those kind of shacks that they maybe put a wagon in, or a you know, a Model T or something, and he had a bunch of things kind of in there. And I looked around and I didn't see a motorcycle, and I saw this lump over in the corner, and he had put rain gear over the whole thing, stacked his rain gear on it for years. And he goes, "Oh, it's over there in the corner. You can go ahead and drag it out." And I was picking up the rain gear, and it was crumbling and falling into pieces. It had been on there that long. So I kind of brushed it off, and oh man, and it had volcano ash and everything else on it. And it was just, looked really grubby and really unloved. And I wet my finger and I wiped the rim, no rust. I said, "I think I can work with this, you know." And I brought the motorcycle home, picked at it. I've never washed the motorcycle. It's never been squirted with a hose. And I cleaned it all up just the way you see it now, and that's the way I keep it. I never wash it. It just gets wiped down and dusted and waxed. And he bought the bike brand new from Cliff in '69, right off of Sandy there. And before he bought it, he had Cliff paint it this blue. This is a lacquer paint job, so you got to be very careful with it. And he wanted turn signals on his bike too, so Cliff made the brackets, chromed them, and put these Harley turn signals on it with the fancy box and the selector switch. Then Chuck took it home and he rode it his 231 miles and decided he wasn't a motorcycle rider anymore, and it sat in his garage for 25 plus years.
It's like a dream come true story, is that? Isn't
Yeah, it was, you know, the best
Amazing.
one I've ever bought, you know, because it had so few miles on it and it was unmolested. And
Those
it's
turn
just,
signals are actually really cool, aren't they? They're very nice.
yeah,
You're
they
amazing.
work. I always forget to turn them off once I turn them on, you know, so like every other motorcycle rider, you see them riding around with one of their turn signals
Yes.
on. That's real common.
me.
This one has no indicator light or anything to warn you, so you just forget about it
Yeah.
until somebody tells you.
Yeah.
But
God, it's beautiful. It's so smooth and quiet, and it sounds lovely, doesn't it? Like you say, it's like a brand new bike.
yeah, it's, you know, a new Triumph motor like this. I think they were kind of the premier British bike when, you know, in '69. They're not rattly, they're very solid, they hardly leak oil. I won't say it doesn't leak oil, but it's pretty good. This one's never been apart. I've adjusted the rocker arms on it once, and since I've had it, you know, and it's probably due again. It gets good oil put in it, and it's a fun bike to ride. The original seat, original tires. And as you come around, you'll see how all the rubbers on it are all original, and they're kind of frayed a little bit and rotten and coming apart. Of course, they did a little bit of wiring to it, but it's a really fun bike. It belongs to the wife, you know. It was one of those bikes that I had 3 in the shop already, and a couple little kids, and building a house. And I came home one day from work and I was real excited, and I said, honey, can I buy another British motorcycle? And she looks at me, and she didn't smile, she didn't do anything, and she thought for a second, and then she says, yeah, if you buy it for me. And I'm thinking, oh, my Triumph, you know, okay, honey.
I can do that. Go on then, I can do that.
Yeah, we did it, you know, and Chuck didn't know how much he wanted for it, and I go, well, Chuck, I'll pay you whatever you paid Cliff in 1969 for it, you know, and I will never sell the motorcycle. I'll always take really good care of it, and I'll ride it. You know, and of course I cleaned it up and rode it before he retired from work, and he got to see his motorcycle sitting out front the door that he walked in every day back and forth to work. And so that was really good. He always used to kind of smile and say, are you enjoying the motorcycle, Mike? I go, yeah, we're enjoying it a lot.
That means an awful lot, doesn't it? It really does, to make sure that it goes to someone who will care for it and cherish it and not flip it.
Yeah, I have a hard time selling everything, you know, or anything. And everything that I've sold, I think I've kind of wanted back at one time or another, you know, so. Yeah. But you just don't have enough space to keep everything.
I feel the same way. And you've almost got to be a bit more selective, haven't you, when you've got limited space.
Right.
As much as you'd want them all. And they come up a lot these days, don't they? Now we're seeing it a lot more these days, and just some amazing bikes, but you can't go for them all. You've got limited resources, limited space, limited time actually to work on them as well.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I'm fortunate, you know. I think I'm doing really good if I've got the 3 bikes running at once. I think I've really accomplished something where I can get on any one of them and ride them at any given time. And there's always something that you want to tweak or tune or do something on one or the others. You count the tractors and the motorhomes and the pickup trucks and chainsaws and all that stuff to, you know, make this work. It's
like a full-time job, isn't it? Just keeping your machines going.
And I'm out of the house 11, 12 hours a day at work.
Wow. So when was the last time you watched TV? And that, I mean that in a good way, right? You won't get chance.
I watch the weather, and then I see a little bit of the news, and I get frustrated, and I turn it off pretty quick, you know.
And you seem happy.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, once in a while we'll get into a series on Netflix or something, and evening to kind of unwind.
But this is it, though, isn't it? This makes you happy, doesn't it?
I enjoy working on the old motorcycles.
Me too. Yeah, it's been such an amazing relief this past year, and visiting friends like you, Mike, it's been a joy. So, and your bikes, they all start so well, and there you are, you just jumped on them and kicked them, and they start and they sound lovely, and they're all different and really cool. You have a nice varied collection.
Right, you know, and then every once in a while, like at the picnic the other day, the Rocket Gold Star did not start, and Matt had to push me, you know, one of our club members. He gave me a bump start in the parking lot, and it fired up, and everybody was happy. Oh yeah, it sounds great. And we rode around for a couple more hours after that, and it never did it to me again that day. And it started today when I brought it out, and, you know. And
there's the old saying, isn't there, that the number of kickstarts is proportionate to the number of people that are watching. So if there's 10 people watching, 10 kicks. 5 people watching, 5 kicks. If you're on your own, first kick, right?
Yeah, you know, and you just don't get these bikes with the magic button. You push and they go. So you got to be prepared to kick them.
Wow. Lovely bike, Mike. Great story. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
That.
Yeah,
Would
motorcycles
you mind starting
are a lot
it
of
one
fun.
more time? And
yeah.
You don't have to tail it up there as well, because I think this is a smoother bike, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's not this kind of bike.
Yeah, this one's such an original bike, you know, we'll be kind of careful with it and not make a noise.
thump thump. It's
Yeah,
wonderful
it's got a beautiful
sound.
sound
It
to
really does.
The crossover pipe really smooths it out. Yeah, it's kind of neat, and it does it out. It makes that thump noise kind of out of both pipes too.
It's lovely.
Yeah, they have a very unique sound to them.
Thanks a lot, Mike. That was really nice. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm glad I had a chance to show them to you finally.
Thank you for all your bikes. It's been a great visit. Thanks.
Yeah, looking forward to the next ride with the club.
Yeah. Hopefully soon.
Either club.
Yeah.
The OVM or the Norton Club.
Yeah. Cheers.